Welp, the head of ISIS, the elusive al-Baghdadi, pursued by the previous administration chiefly through droning half the fucking planet, up to and including our own citizens without trial, has been body-bagged.
He died like a dog. He died like a coward. The world is now a much safer place. He was a sick and depraved man, and now he's gone.
And now, we wait for the same breathless, unqualifiedly positive coverage of this plume in the president's cap to match the media slobbering on Obama's knob for off and Osama. Oh, don't worry. I'll wait.
3 days later.
Oh, that really didn't work out, did it? But hey, you know what did work? The media's mountain of tepid fucking takes about how, actually, Obama did more to fight ISIS because he sat with a drone remote and nuked brown people with glorified fucking video games.
President Obama set up virtually all of the structure key to the fight against ISIS. Since 2014, ISIS's territory has shrunk dramatically. Most of those losses took place under the Obama administration.
Something I suspect was a planned DNC-wide talking point, doubtless doled out to these dipshits on a local level, because the very same day Trump was ending this asshole, Felicia Rodolini, who I only just mentioned to you all in a recent rant, is in fact the head of the Arizona Democratic Party, was filmed just 1 hour before Baghdadi's death, firing off this flamin' fucking dog shit missile.
Another reason why people are going to vote? Because Donald Trump is manipulating the White House and has aligned himself with ISIS.
Bye, Felicia.
But those were rookie numbers compared to what the Washington Post did, scrapping an earlier headline referring to al-Baghdadi as a terrorist leader and instead and I quote, austere scholar. Sure, why put rape, torture, and demolition of priceless pre-Islamic artifacts in the fucking header when you can cast Captain Caliphate with a TNT turban as Wise Owl from Winnie the fucking Pooh? Look, calling this a Trump win is two things. One, a gross oversimplification that presupposes an inordinate amount of authority on the president, who is at the end of the day not the king of America, and merely the head of one of three theoretically balanced branches of government. And two, absolutely butt-fucking true. Look, I gave Barack the Croc all the credit in the world for off and Osama. Granted, he didn't lay the groundwork. Fuck, he wouldn't even have been able to pull it off if we hadn't used waterboarding tactics Obama explicitly fucking banned once he attained office. But all the same, he did push the button. He did sign the order. Bottom line, Barack's kill. So sorry, shitweeds. This one's a win for Trump, too. Period. And I'm not so much directing my ire to the aisle opposite here. They'd happily gobble their own goddamn feces if Trump expressed the faintest fucking aversion to it. I could set my watch by these cantankerous titwanks. No, my crosshair has been trained of late exclusively on our own fucking ranks. The 5 remaining never-drumpf devotees, and increasingly, and much more importantly, the concerned troll and counter-pilled controlled oppo cuckbags professing to be his most ardent and avowed supporters, yet habitually prophesying the collapse of the commander-in-chief on a semi-hourly basis.
Ann Coulter, welcome to the program. I can't believe you're here.
You know, he hasn't built the wall.
Well, I think he's building the wall. You know what I find fascinating? That you are so Ann Coulter that you couldn't just go with, hey, nice to be here. You had to come in with the wall, like right out of the get-go. You just had to say that.
Hey, you'd be obsessed with the wall, too, if you'd hit it as hard as Ann Coulter has. These tiresome demi-dolts heard their first immigration demographic lecture 2 weeks ago and are now convinced they have single-handedly isolated the end for all mankind. Some of us were hip to this shit years ago. Now, I've harbored a healthy contempt for the black-pilled bedwetters for many a moon. You can cry and claim it's partisan team sports. You'd be wrong, as I supported an entirely different candidate in 2016, but you can go ahead and be a willfully ignorant aspie if you're so inclined. But frankly, that wouldn't even be required for me to hate the hipster glasses right off the principle-deficient pompadour purity posse, fair-weather fucking meme humpers who've made it their only abiding occupation to passively-aggressively dump on the Donald even when shit is going well. I haven't blown smoke up anyone's ass about Trump's fallibilities. Look, he started the year off rougher than an Alabama back road, transitioned to treading water, but between between Baghdadi getting half the intelligence community to admit Obama abused the entire system to set his ass up, and dunking on the DNC debates on a bi-weekly basis, he's made like one of his own properties and repossessed himself. Still not perfect though. The wall funding got the go-ahead, so sack up and build that shit in earnest already. I said at the outset in a rant entitled Trump's Cabinet Untouchables or Unflushables that the only way a Trump presidency could work is if he played it profoundly fucking close. The deep state wanted his ass far too fucking bad to trust anyone outside the MAGA bubble. Trump's response was to fire or forcibly fucking resign everyone but establishment stool pigeons, his progeny, and their paramours, and he's paid for it. His cabinet leaks like a Sony sailboat, and somehow it took him this long, 3 years the fuck later, to issue a formal edict demanding to know the names of any and all White House officials who happen to be on a first-name basis with Hillary. It's a start, but he still needs to hip-check Kushner to the fucking curb, and after hearing he launched a surgical strike on Syria entirely because daddy's little girl cranked out a crocodile tear, the next time I hear the words Ivanka and cabinet, bitch better be working at IKEA. But to deep-throat a bottle of black pills because a dude who was elected to have an unconnected amateur relationship with politics also happens to be behaving like it is a new and exciting form of fucking stupidity. This was never gonna be pretty, but at least it's getting goddamn done. I can't tell you how much I appreciate the same cats who are getting their political education from fucking Green Day 10 years ago, rapping to us all about how the socio-political cookie truly crumbles, regurgitating demographic data and Israeli conspiracies anyone with half a fucking brain cell in his skull was reading in Pat Buchanan's Death of the West in 2002, when the entirety of their economic education still consisted of the certain knowledge that hotels are red and houses are green. I'd tell them to blow it out their ass, but they'd have to dislodge their fucking skulls first. You may refuse to credit Trump with the accomplishments he's objectively pulled the fuck off, but mark my words. If the accelerationist ass canyons get their way, you'll sure as shit notice his absence when we go right back to the establishment stoop job as usual, and all your galaxy brain bullshit amounts to the square root of dick. Truth hurts, bitch. Bite the pillow and think of England. I'm Razor Fist. God fucking speed.
My mind, my heart, my soul is calm while I sit here soldering my C2 bomb. Got some wires crossed in my twisted head. Connect the green wire here, or was it red? 'Cause it's my...
It was Navy SEALs who tracked down and killed Osama bin Laden. This time on point, it was the Army's highly secretive Delta Force.